You son of a bitch! You fucking kidding me? Oh my god. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Schubert here with the first ever episode of what I'm calling Top 10 Tuesday. So this should take, if I do a video a week, 10 weeks to complete. And basically all I am doing is giving you the rundown of my top 10 most played games. Unfortunately, this only applies to games that are on Steam or Origin, as older games never really tracked the amount of hours that you play. And at the same time, Blizzard or Battle.net does not track the amount of hours or the amount of time that you have in a game. So between all these games that you see here, I'm going to take you through and basically explain some of my favorites and what gripped me, what grabbed me the most in each game, why I put so many hours into it. Maybe I'll even mention some games that I probably will put a lot of hours into. But for the time being, I'm just going to go through my top 10 out of all these different games. All right, and from 10 to 1, the first game up is American Truck Simulator. This game is produced by SCS Software, a Czech company, and was released in February 2016. Now, I love this game. It's a very fun, relaxing simulator game. But I do switch on and off between this and a lot of other games. This is one that I get sucked into for a little while. I played it a lot when it first came out, and then I didn't touch it for quite a while. So I have just 139 hours into this game so far. That'll change, obviously, today. And then going forward, I would kind of like to make a little series out of just this game. So that is why, as of right now, I have started over with a brand new career just for this video and any future videos. And already did the not main missions, the introductory missions and everything else. So let's go ahead and look at the job market. Right now, we can only take quick jobs. Once we own our own Once we own our own tractor and eventually our own trailer, we can do the freight market. Once we own our own semi. Once we purchase a semi for ourselves, we can do the freight market. Then we can do the cargo market once we get ourselves a trailer. And eventually, we can do this once we have our own truck too. We can do the external contracts, which I generally like to do. I think they're kind of fun. So for our quick job, let's take a look at our map here. I do have some mods running. As you can see, there's a bit of a delay on the trucks loading up over here, and that is part of the mod. One of the truck mods delayed that. I do have the topographical map, I guess maybe is what you would call that, or realistic looking map. I do like that a lot better than just the flat SCS background. And I picked our home base to be in Sacramento, and the reason being because you can get up to Oregon, you can get over to Arizona and New Mexico, and you can get into Nevada. I could have picked somewhere here in Nevada, but I hate the roads. Sometimes I really hate the drives in Nevada. So the first load took us from Sacramento to San Francisco. And with the way this works in the quick jobs, I could just select Sacramento and take a job from there. But I'm going to kind of pretend, I guess, like we're actually jumping, from city to city, and we are actually in San Francisco. So let's just take whatever we get here. We do have options for cargo. This looks like standard deliveries. This one has an articulated trailer. I'm not generally a fan of those right now, and I'll explain why once I get to some actual trucking. I usually drop them by price, but I also sometimes do price per distance. Let's see what kind of trucks we got on the next page. Okay, just the regular trucks. Let's go ahead and we'll take this. For some reason, we're taking car parts from Best Buy to Tesla. That's the joy of some of the mods that you get when it brings in real companies and it just kind of slaps them wherever. You get goofy things like that going on. If we take a look here, our cargo is car parts, 23,600 pounds, going from Fresno to Tesla Motors. It is expected Monday between 6 a.m. and Tuesday at a little after noon. Oh, a little after midnight, sorry. Didn't see the AM at first. The job income, $5,950. And so, yeah, we'll take off here in just a second. But first, if I press this button, you can see there's options for adjusting mirrors and everything else. The biggest thing I like to adjust, depending upon which vehicle I'm in, I like to adjust that field of view. I don't go super wide. I have a 27-inch monitor. I think it's 27. It's not 24, I don't think. But anyways, I don't like to go super wide because then as you're driving down the road, it just feels stretched out. But this initial view, 65 was it at, is so tight and it's so narrow for me, I think. I like to go at about 70, 75. And I like the wheel and stuff where it is, so I usually leave that, but I do like to bump myself up and then tilt my head down a little bit. Yeah, maybe like that. Okay, so all that junk is done. Let's go ahead and start the truck up. We can change. I like to put my miles per hour up there. It's a lot easier for me to see than looking down at the speedometer. And actually, before we get kicked off here, let's go ahead and check the world map. One thing I like to do is see if there are any... Oh, it's going to take us that way. Okay. See if there are any... Let's go this way instead. Oh, wait, what a reset. Okay, so trip time up here is going to be 4 hours and 38 minutes. If I route us this way to get that question mark, to get that collectible, it's going to be 5 hours and 8 minutes. Not a huge difference, so I think I will take Route 1 here all the way down. I like to, as I start off a new guy, get as many of these collectibles as possible, even if it means, let's zoom in here, even if it means driving by and then coming back. I like to do that a lot. Yeah, I'm not going to go all the way up and around there. I'll probably just make a big U-turn somewhere. Maybe I'll cancel that one out since we'll be in Fresno. That's probably a hiring agency anyways. All right, so this is what we'll do. We'll go down Route 1 instead of going down 5 or whatever it put us to. And we'll take it that way. So like I said, this game released in 2016, and I played the heck out of it at first. It was kind of interesting because I didn't have a real steering wheel. I know that's not necessary for the game, but it's something that I prefer. Instead, what I had was the farming simulator wheel, and so I just played trucking with that. No force feedback or anything. It was a little bit goofy trying to shift gears and whatnot. Then I upgraded myself to a Logitech G29, And why am I going the wrong way? I started talking and I wasn't even paying attention to the map. Now I gotta circle back around. Ooh, this is gonna be a long journey. See if we can make a big illegal U-turn right here. I'm surprised it's even letting me do this. I mean... Alright. This makes it feel like I am off the map. Especially when you see that. Oh, look out, car. Just barely. Alright. So anyways, as I was saying, I upgraded myself to a Logitech G29 and I enjoyed that for quite a while. I did have issues with the wheel shutting off, essentially. Like, when you turn to a certain angle, it suddenly wouldn't register any button presses on the wheel itself. It still turned, which is the odd part. But when I would try to press a button, it wouldn't work. And the bad part about that was, at the time, my range up and range down and all that was bound to the wheel. Oh, come on. Ugh. Sure, make me stop all the way. You son of a bitch! You fucking kidding me? Oh my god. Second ever drive and I killed a guy because he frickin' made a left-hand turn out in front of a semi like an idiot. Oh. Okay. Boy, that... the Jake brake slows it down real quick, doesn't it? I don't know if it's a thing to put on the parking brake at a stoplight or not. It's just something I do. Makes it a lot easier so I don't have to have my foot on the brake. So for a long time I used my Logitech G29. I even ordered parts from a company called 3D Wrap. They're an Italian company that specializes in 3D printing for a lot of different things, but wow, that was a little bit higher than I thought. I would have totally killed this truck right there. Just blown it right up. They specialize, they have a lot of different things, but they do 3D printing specifically for simulators. So they have little inserts that you could put in. Okay, this is not going well. So this is one of those relaxing simulator games that I like to play. The difficulty right now is the fact that I have a nice big walking boot on my left foot. So trying to do any kind of shifting or anything is rather difficult. As I was saying, when I first... Oop, here we go. When I first started playing this game, I was using just the farming simulator wheel, which actually works out pretty well. It's just that it doesn't have any force feedback or anything, so you feel kind of loosey-goosey. And the game itself had some, not flaws, but room for improvement. Now that SCS has updated it quite a bit, and there are some options I found out that I'm able to change. There's some options that I'm able to change. It makes it feel a lot more realistic, plus some of the equipment that I've purchased to go with this game. going from the Farming Simulator wheel and pedals and the SATA side panel, I upgraded to a Logitech G29, which worked well for a number of years. Let's see, it's only 2018, so I guess it worked well for 2 years. It did have that kind of fatal flaw that I've read about online where at some point during its operation, it just shuts off. It still registers your steering, but for some reason, the button presses on the wheel don't operate. And I know I read about this from a lot of other people having the same issue. The difficulty for me at the time was that the way to shift with the range up and range down, for me, I had to basically put it on the wheel itself. I had to map a couple buttons to the range up option and the splitter, I guess. Splitter. So it was quite difficult for me, you know, if I was going through turns like this and I had to shift, it just wouldn't function properly, and I don't quite understand why. I've never opened it up to see what the deal was, but my thought is perhaps there's something loose, like a connection that's loose inside the controller, and that's why it won't work. I'm not 100% sure. That's just my guess. Otherwise, other suggestions were that your USB hubs are underpowered and da-da-da-da-da. But everything else I have, you know, works just fine. So I don't know. From the Logitech G29, I upgraded, and I would call it in some ways an upgrade. I upgraded to the Thrustmaster TMX wheel, the whatever the designation is for their shifter, and the pedals as well. Let's go ahead and shift down. Shifting to low. I'm losing some ground there. I don't know why they have beacons on those trailers. I have never seen a beacon in the United States on a trailer, at least in the Midwest, I guess. I don't know about California, but in the Midwest, I've never seen a beacon on a trailer. So I picked up the Thrustmaster gear, and I gotta say, I enjoy it quite a bit. Let's do a little pros and cons. The pros for the Logitech are that I love the button layout, and the buttons all feel fantastic. The wheel itself is a nice leather and just feels amazing. Compared to the Thrustmaster, it's just a rubber, and it feels kind of not cheap, but it feels kind of weird in your hands at first. I'll make sure I'm not going to get creamed by somebody coming out of there. Then a con for the Logitech is the way it does its force feedback is really quite loud. Like the first time I tried the game was in Dirt 2, or tried the wheel, was in the game Dirt 2. And oh my gosh, you could just hear the thing go just rattling back and forth. And it really shook my heavy desk that I had at the time and everything. The Thrustmaster uses I guess a belt and gear system, and it's a lot smoother, it's a lot quieter, and it feels pretty dang good in the hands once you get used to the settings, or once you set up exactly what you want. This game, when it first came out, originally only had 2 states, I think, California and Nevada, and then they added very quickly Arizona. I better downshift. I didn't realize I was in... Oh my gosh. I would totally be breaking this truck right now if it was real. I didn't... Yeah, anyways, they added Arizona, and then New Mexico, and now Oregon, or Oregon, depending upon how you say it. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay, gotta slow down. You can see I'm pretty good at getting up to speed, not so good at slowing down. I have never driven a truck in real life. I did drive a manual transmission car, but that is way different. Oh my gosh. You don't have to shift into highs and lows and all this stuff. And with having a walking boot on my left foot, I'm getting kind of distracted as to where I'm at. Interestingly enough, the last time I sprained my ankle was when I was driving that car that was a stick shift. It was an 06 Ford Fusion, and I sprained my ankle playing basketball at college, and I had to drive myself over to Shopko or Target or something to get an ace bandage. I had an ice pack. I did not have any kind of an ace bandage or anything like that. And you tried pressing down on a real clutch with a sore, bruised up, swollen ankle. It was not fun at all. I have the realistic companies mod on, and are you gonna let me in, or are you gonna be a jerk? Oh, you're gonna let me in. And some of these companies I don't recognize, like, at all. I feel like I probably should know them, but I don't. One of my other least favorite things about the game is trying to get onto a highway, especially as my foot slips off the clutch and I went into a gear I wasn't expecting to. You got your lights on already? It's like 6:30. As you can see from the scenery, this is just, you know, a really fun, relaxing game to play. A lot of times when I would play it, I would have like a podcast going, or maybe watching an interview, or even just having a movie on my second monitor or something like that. You know, just something relaxing to keep myself a little bit more occupied. I mean, this game it's quite amazing what they have developed between Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator. They're both just so much fun, and I'm going to kill it there. Alright, let's do it this way. Oh, no wonder. Stupid me. I didn't realize I was still in that gear. Some of you guys that watch the other, you know, watch the actual YouTube guys play this game, you're probably wondering what the heck is going on with me. I know I watch a few guys play this game, and especially some that do like little mod reviews and stuff like that. And watching some of them drive, I mean, I know they've got thousands of hours into this game, and they've got thousands of hours into Euro Truck. And even before that, they probably played the, what is it? The Scania driving simulator, and Trucks and Trailers, I think, was another game. You know, they probably played a lot of that. And you don't see them make any of the mistakes that I do. When you watch them, it's like watching a real trucker, I guess. Everything's so smooth and neat and easy. And for me, I just kind of mess up here and there. But I'm getting a little better. There are a few things that I was able to do that have actually made the game feel a lot more realistic. The shifter and everything helps out, you know, getting a wheel and a shifter. I also got myself one of those SKRS controllers. I don't know what SKRS stands for, so don't ask me. But it's one of those things that turns the shifter. It's another controller that sits on your shifter, and it basically turns it into a stick that a trucker would have. So you can shift high-low, you can hit the Jake brake on if you want to. On this one, you can do a lot of that stuff. This one that I have is the Arduino, or I think it's Arduino, is how you pronounce it, Micro. It's not 100% realistic to a real shifter. For example, the range splitter on the side, the thumb splitter, is, I know I'm saying that wrong. Instead of being a forward-backward motion, it's an up-down. It's like a big light switch. I mean, it works out well for me. I enjoy it. It's helped out a lot, even though, as you can see, I'm still terrible. But it still made it a lot easier and a lot more comfortable and relaxing to drive in this game. The other things are basically console commands that I've used to change different things like the field of view and the mirrors, although I think I gotta redo that. Or maybe this is the way it's supposed to be. I don't remember now. Basically making them a lot narrower. Because otherwise you get like this big fat field of view, and then it's hard to back any trailers up or anything like that. And there's also some changes that I was able to make because of the latest update. I think I'm on 1.33 in ATS. Because of the latest update, there's some different physics changes you can make that really improve the feel of the game, the feel of the truck and everything else. Basically, you change the physics of the truck, and then there's another one for the physics of the trailer. And there was one more. The suspension stiffness. Yeah, no right turn there, I get it. See how high I am. Yeah, too high. The suspension stiffness is another one. And really, if I jump to the outside view, which I don't like to do because I mess up even more than in the inside view. Hey, I shifted up here. Sometimes it does not like that. If I give it a good slalom, you should see the truck actually, the trailer actually bobbling a little bit. Should see a nice bob and weave. Although, you know what? I should pull over and make sure I got it. Let me do that real quick. Alright, so I guess I do have that set the correct way. And that only lost me a few minutes. Trying to figure out. I had to go back out, look at the video I watched on YouTube. Watch the video on YouTube again and try to figure out just what the command was in the console. One of them is G_phys, P-H-Y-S, _mirrors. And it's default set to 0. So I went ahead and set it to 1, which narrows up your field of view on those mirrors. Makes it a little bit easier to back up a trailer and stuff, although I'm still terrible at it. The other commands were G_trailer_stability, G_trailer or truck_stability, and then G_suspension_stiffness. And if you change all those to 0, as of right now, as of the 1.33 patch, unless they change it sometime here in the future, as of right now, that makes the truck feel so much better. You get a lot more physical movement in the truck. For me, it no longer feels like I'm just on rails. It feels like I'm actually driving down the road. Although I still have to figure out some of the sensitivity with this TMX racing wheel. I do have just the slightest bit of dead zone on it. Ooh, Piggy got somebody. Uh-oh. See, that's what I'm talking about. You don't see the professionals veering on, on the road like that. I could be a swift driver. I bet they're hiring, too. No, because I would end up being on one of those pictures you see online making fun of Swift. Alright, as for my slowing down, once again, I am not great. Man, look at that, ADM. One of the behaviors of the trucks that still tricks me is the way it works when you let go of the clutch when you're sitting at a light like that. It just, for some reason, like you could rev the engine way up and let off the clutch, and instead of just popping ahead, you know, instead of really getting some torque going and twisting the cab and stuff like that, the truck just bogs down and you kill it. I'll show you at the next light. I'll show you what it looks like. But it's kind of ridiculous. It's something that I have watched a video or two of real truckers complaining about that. They're like, hey, I drive a truck in real life and I love this game. You gotta fix this. And they haven't fixed it. I guess I won't get a chance because we don't have another light. Instead, we've got... Yeah, I'm almost there. You could put that down so it's out of my way. Okay, looks like we're going up to the left here. Yep, Tesla, there it is. Where do I go? In here? Looks like it. Okay. As far as realism, I have this one little mod downloaded. As you can see there, there's a nice manhole cover on the ground. So you stop over top of that, and that brings up your options. Let's see, what do I got? Sorry, had to remember which button to press there. And they want me to park that SOB all the way back there. Okay. I think I can do that. I'll give it a try. I'll do my best. But this menu here, when you're dropping off a trailer, gives you 3 options, as you can see. You can play it safe, just park it there for less XP, or for no XP, it just automatically skips it for you. I'm going to do a risky thing here and actually try this. It's going to be terrible, but let's do it. You can shut this menu off, or shut that option off. The difficulty with that is, since they added the triples, the doubles and the triples, if you do advanced parking only, sometimes it's not available. Like, I've done the advanced parking and then actually got the trailer into the spot and it still wouldn't go. I had to drive back over the manhole cover and do it all over again. Okay, this is not working with this boot right now. Okay, go away. I don't want you there. Alright, let's see how bad this is. I'm looking out the opposite. Yep, first of all, I'm turning the wrong way. Yep, I knew that. No, not right at all. I'm gonna channel my professional inner YouTube personalities for this one. And it's still not gonna work. Let's get this bad boy to turn. Go away! You could turn that off too, but then if you need it, it's not there. Am I even anywhere close? Alright, let's check this out. Let's go ahead. I actually wasn't doing too bad. Let's see if I can't continue, huh? Okay, gotta straighten it out a little bit here if I can. Oh my gosh, trust the change in the mirror physics in the field of view, I guess. Oh, no. Come on, at least get me close enough to hit it. I'm about to hit that other trailer is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I almost had it. I am so dang terrible at all this. I think I got a little bit more room. I can go ahead here. Okay. Which way do I go? Go this way? No. Go this other way? Yep. Am I close enough? Am I there yet? Come on. I got it. I did get it. Let's take a look at this. And there you have it. Worst parking job ever, but apparently they are going to count it. So, we will take it. After you do all that, you get this nice little job completed screen, which explains all your bonuses and benefits and the time taken and tells you what your level is. Right now, we are a newbie, and even if we weren't on level 2, we would still be a newbie. We got skills. Yeah, I got skills. What are you going to do about it? We can choose, you see I've already done one here in high value. We can choose any of these others. Some people have described fuel economy as being useless unless you're doing really long hauls and stuff like that. We could choose longer distances if we want to, fragile cargo, etc., etc. I typically like to pick the high value cargo to get this extra experience once I do a high value, and I like to work my way through the hazardous cargo to get all of that unlocked before I even go into any of these other options. So we'll go ahead and pick explosives there. It doesn't add any cool trailers for that one, like some of these others, gas or whatever might add, but it does give us more options for what to take. Then when we pop out here, this is your main screen. You get your game time, like what day it is and all that. There's some icons down here for World of Trucks, American Trucks website, the SCS forums, and whatnot. Then down here you have, of course, your job market, world map radio. You can check your email. I get some emails here. The bank wants to take all my money by giving me money. And then there's special transport options. After that, you have a photo studio. If you take a look, there's Screenshot Manager and Image Spotlight. If I was in the game, if I was in my truck right now, I could take a photo. In the vehicle browser, you can test out a bunch of different configurations and stuff to figure out what you want to purchase. You save load, obviously, options, and you can select your different profiles. And up over here, it has all sorts of options for you, and then all sorts of options for running your business, including recruitment agency, truck manager, trailer manager, driver manager, etc. And so they've added quite a bit. There's a lot that you can do with this game now that you couldn't do in the beginning. So for the fact that I just started this as number 10 with 139 hours, I guarantee you in like a couple months, especially once my foot gets better, those numbers those are rookie numbers. You got to do better. Actually, I don't remember the quote, but you got to pump those numbers up. You got to pump those up, something like that. Basically, this won't be number 10 for very long. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's that for me. For the first ever Top 10 Tuesday. Stick around next week to see what my number 9 is. I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with Schmallout 3.